Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I am too. So I thought I'd make this introduction as a way for me to explain the purpose of this channel and to tell you guys a bit about myself and also a bit about myself as a Match 2021 applicant, which was last year. So it's reasonable to expect that the channel is going to start off as a valuable resource for the Match 2022 applicants and the future applicants. It's going to be a way for me to share my experience as an IMG who went through the process, matched in internal medicine at Mayo Clinic, Arizona, and with the hopes that my experience and whatever little knowledge I have is of benefit to the people out there, to the applicants applying this year and the future. And I think, the viewers will determine the success of this channel. A man can dream big. With the success of the channel, I'll be incorporating more content, with regards to my take on interesting medical topics, research guidance, and more to make this a fun platform, and a place where we all can learn and grow together. So I noticed there are a lot of match-related channels out there. They are producing, match-related advice and content. But I noticed that there's a huge amount of regurgitation of information. Like everyone just trying to portray the same thing in different ways. So I really hope to a large extent that my content will be original, authentic, and will portray my experience, going through the match process. I also mentor students and graduates and those applying to the match process. And if that's something you're interested in, if you're interested in having a more tailored, personalized mentorship, you can feel free to reach out to me on social media or email, and we can take that forward. I'm also considering doing live sessions because I know that's a more interactive kind of platform, and I feel those will be very beneficial in answering some very specific questions that you guys might have. So I'd say stay tuned for those. So now a bit about myself. I'm originally from Kashmir, the Indian side of Kashmir, and I was born in Saudi Arabia, did my high school in Malaysia, before which I lived in Kashmir for 7 years, and then went to Malaysia for 4 years for high school. Then I graduated from med school from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, before I kind of embarked on this journey of US residency. I'm going to be talking in more detail about what I did during med school and what my specific match experience was like in future videos. But what I can say for now is obviously Match 2021, it was a very eventful experience. It was a very eventful year. So many things happened around us, and for us, the applicants going through the match, there were a lot of things that we were seeing for the first time. There were a lot of firsts. The ECFMG process was entirely different. CS was cancelled. Electives were cancelled left and right. People were trying to explore tele-rotations. So with all these uncertainties and obstacles, it was very tense. It was very difficult for all the applicants that were going through the process. On several steps, we had to figure things out as we went because many of those things had never been done before. Another example are the virtual interviews. And that was a kind of like an adjustment process for both the applicants and the programs. So definitely, the cancellation of electives really hit everyone hard, to be honest. And I went into the match with one elective and applying to internal medicine, and I was grateful that I was able to match at the Mayo Clinic in Arizona. What I can say is, and I cannot emphasize on this enough, many of us going through the match process, one of the biggest lessons we learned was that eventually everything falls in place. Everything has a position, everything has a purpose, and every difficulty we go through, has a purpose, shapes us in some way. There were many things that I look back on, and I'm amazed that I needed those things to, turn out in my favor, for things to go well, for me to have a successful match. So there's a sense of relief, and I hope that the people watching this, a lot of you guys are Match 2022 applicants, and you're in a state of anxiety, fear, and tension. I just want to tell you guys that once we channel those fears and anxiety and focus on doing what's in our control, doing what we can to improve our application, and not worrying, not letting things that are not in our control affect us, there's a sense of relief, there's a sense of peace. And I hope you take it in the most objective way possible, you know what I'm saying. So things that are in our control include, getting good scores, electives, letters, making sure your ERAS application is organized, writing a very compelling personal statement, preparing for the interviews. So as long as you've done those things that are in your control, you do not need to worry about things that are not in your control, things like whether you'll match or not, things like where you'll match, because these things are not your responsibilities, because these things are not in your control. So you want to keep that in mind when you kind of go through this process. And I hope this, this little reminder from me gives you a sense of relief. I know it's a very exhausting process, and people like me, people who've matched, I think it's like a responsibility for us to be here and be available for you guys in terms of the advice and support that we can provide. And, I'm personally very happy to do that. So again, do what's in your control, do your best, and forget about the outcome, because that is not something that you determine. That is beyond anyone's control. It's a complex process. There are so many different moving pieces. That is something you don't need to worry at this point. Worry about how you can perfect your application in the circumstances that you have. And I'm sure you're going to do great. I'll definitely talk about my med school experience and what the things I did during med school and how I approached my match application in more detail in a future video very soon. But I can say that, at the end of the day, it's very relieving to be able to match at a very good program, because I know what that would potentially mean for my future prospects. And although it's a bit too early to kind of comment on that or decide that, cardiology is something I'm looking into for fellowship purposes. And I am actively looking into it by means of research and exploring what the lifestyle is like, being in cardiology. And I feel like that's a decision that's that I'll be able to make more maturely as I progress through residency and as I explore the other specialties and what they have to offer, and then I can make that decision. But preparation starts very early for competitive fellowships like cardiology, gastro, and so on. So you need to have that in the back of your mind if you're actually going to pursue it in the future. I just want to emphasize again on the fact that you guys, the viewers, are the key to success of this channel. So your feedback will be of great value to me. Whatever it is, whether it's the lighting or the video quality, audio, the content, if there's any comments, any feedback that you have, please let me know, whether privately or in the comments. I'll be more than happy to, go through those, and I would really appreciate hearing from you guys. Now, a question for the Match 2022 applicants especially. What topics do you think should I prioritize, and which topics do you think I should cover first, with regards to the match process? And besides that, if there are any other topics, any content you would want me to cover, whatever it is, it could be reaction to medical videos or shows, it could be medical memes, anything that comes to your mind that you think would be suitable for me to cover, please let me know. Let this be a community that you are an important part of, that you help shape and grow. And that's really my hope from this channel. As long as I know that I benefit someone out there through the content, through my experience, I feel I've realized the purpose and the potential of this channel. I do acknowledge that there's great potential in YouTube generally and in a channel like this, and that's really what I want to explore as I take you guys through this process, sharing my experience. I'm going to be starting residency very soon, and I would want to keep you guys with me on this journey through residency, and I hope that gives you an insight into what resident life is like, in internal medicine generally. And I hope, again, you take some benefit from that. As every YouTuber says, like, subscribe, and share this channel with your colleagues and friends. If you think this can be of benefit to anyone that you know, please share it with them. Share your thoughts and comments in the comments below, and I will look forward to seeing you guys very soon. Stay tuned and take care.